So another aspect, or I would say one of the pain points that I see, which is driving the entire community of development very crazy, is using open source projects. For example, I'm talking about Apache as a project, for example. So if I'm using even Linux flavors like CentOS, so I'm using those particular open source platforms, but what happens is in-house I might be just having an L1 level support, which doesn't allow me to extensively use this particular platform across different porting. For example, let us consider some vulnerabilities has come up on that particular platform and I do not know how to troubleshoot, because these are all open source communities which drive this particular thing. So one of the main requirement around this is to have an L2, L3 level support throughout my span of the project, which can actually help me to mitigate any kind of issues coming on those particular projects. And this can be very well taken care by one of the product line which Wave has. So Wave is a company which is basically now a part of Perforce, and what they give as a unique offering is they give you a support line for entire year on a support contract basis, which give you the L2 and L3 level support on varied number of open source platforms. And it can be on middle layer, it can be starting on the application layer, on the operating system layer, and on the DB layer. So this allows me to extensively use any open source projects across any of my projects without even thinking that whether some migration happens or maybe some kind of issues happens on those layers, who will take care of that. So benefits of these are very unique, or maybe I would say they're very easily identifiable benefits. One of them is like the time to resolve an issue. So if I'm talking about I have to ramp up a team on a particular technology which I'm using, and that team has to take care of that. So I have to give a lot of lead time to get that particular problem been understood, then replicated, then resolved. But if that particular problem has been taken to a particular team which are authors to that particular project on a open source community, the time to resolve that is very fast. I would say some days or maybe some hours at times. Second is that I do not have to have a big team sitting behind to take care of that. I can use that particular expertise to develop my application, which is the core at the end of the day I'm being paid for. So I do not have to take that in-house. That particular thing can be outsourced very easily. And importantly, this particular thing is very certified. Like I would say that they are experts, and this particular line of support is not new. This has been existing from almost 7 to 8 years and been running very successfully. And a lot of companies have leveraged out of it, a lot of them. So we have huge data centers, companies like Triance, we have companies even Cisco, or maybe I would say some third party, some other companies are also there, which have actually been using this particular, in fact, including the bank, some of them in the banking sectors also, which have a huge data centers, which actually do a kind of a lot of migrations across these particular projects again and again. So they do a lot of this particular kind of service they take from different places, but they have found out that OSS support is very streamlined to whatever they require, and that's been a very effective engagement pattern. So if you want to look into it, you can go to Meteonic website, have a look into that, and informations are available. If you are looking for a kind of an understanding about how it works, we are open to have a call with you. Since it's basically a service, we do not have something for an evaluation to be available over here. But I would say that if you are looking for some kind of knowledge building about this particular service, or maybe confidence building of this particular service, we are there to actually have a meeting with you, and the experts over which is there, subject matter experts will be available on the call. You can ask your problems, we can just take care of that.